Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I'm Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. And today we are checking out the nreal Air AR glasses. We'll go over everything you need to know about these sweet looking shades, from the aesthetics to the tech inside to what it actually looks like when you're wearing them. Do I recommend them? My personal use case. Basically anything you want to know. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but let's start off with that general information. Now the nreal Air is a 3DOF pair of glasses, meaning 3 degrees of freedom. It will track you left, right, up, down, but not forwards and backwards. So you can't really walk around a virtual environment or really use it for augmented reality, even though there are AR features included, but I don't think that's what this pair of glasses really excel at. Now, before we get into the tech and the use case, I do want to talk about the aesthetics and basically the overall style. As you see, it's like a pair of glasses. They're really not much bigger than your typical sunglasses. Definitely a little bit bulkier and heavier, but there's not much tech in here. So the weight is extremely light at 79 grams, and their exceedingly excellent marketing shows this off by comparing it to 7 pairs of glasses equal 1 Oculus Quest. And you can wear the Oculus Quest for an extended period of time. It's definitely not the most comfortable headset. So just imagine how much more comfortable this is. And I have no complaints in that regard. If it doesn't fit your nose, there's 3 different adjustable nose straps. And to get the proper alignment or just get it to look right on your face, there's 3 different positions to align how the lenses are pointed towards your eyes. Overall, I don't want to say 10 out of 10, but it is a solid device when it comes to the overall aesthetics. Really not much to complain here. Really not much to trim down. That's because there's really not much tech in here. Now, getting into the actual tech in this product, there's only 5 major components. You have your USB-C port for connecting to a phone or plenty of other devices, which I'll go into later. Then you have built-in speakers, which are competent, not amazing, but definitely competent. You have a little sensor so that the glasses know when you're wearing them or not. It'll shut off the screen when you're not wearing them. And then finally, you have, most important, the screen, which is a micro OLED running at 3840 by 1080, which you might think is not high enough resolution. But when you're dealing with a screen that small and the pixel density is so high, it actually looks quite clear. And this is what I want to spend a lot of time talking about, because that's the main question we're going to get. How does this actually look? And in that regard, I was really impressed. My hopes were not that high. I was like, how can this look great? And it has surprised me. I've watched multiple movies and played hours of video games wearing these glasses, and it's an excellent experience. Now you might be wondering, where is the rest of the tech? You only went over speakers, microphone, display, couple sensors, nothing else. Where's the tech in the headset? Well, how this device works is you're going to connect it to something else, ideally a phone. They have a software application known as Nebula, which not only will help you with display output, which most devices don't need. Anything that has a USB-C display output just works. Plug and play, plug it in, you're good to go. But if you wanted to have more control over the display, maybe, multiple apps open at the same time, or fool around with AR functionality, then you have to use their Nebula software. Now, if you're someone who wears glasses already, you can actually get prescription lens inserts for these. They also kept travel in mind with a nifty little case here that'll keep your device nice and safe. It's got a cutout, for the nose, so it stays right there, and you can just include your cable right underneath. Perfect setup, nothing's gonna get scratched. To get a bit more techie on the specs for the people out there who want to hear it, it is 400 nits perceived brightness, a 100,000:1 contrast ratio. It has a 46-degree field of view, and the pixels per degree is 49. So what does that actually mean to the layman's out there? Well, for starters, it's actually really freaking bright. That is one thing that surprised me. With the OLED display, the colors are also really good too. However, we do need to discuss, you have a transparent screen there, so that can impact your perceived brightness and your perceived colors. So if you look at these in a dark room or use the included shade cover, then the experience actually is phenomenal. It is a great looking screen. If you're utilizing them in AR mode, well then there's always this level of transparency going on, which will impact what you're seeing. You won't get the same level of clarity or colors or brightness, but it's still completely watchable. Now there's multiple different ways for you to consume your content. In the air casting mode, you can get a perceived 130-inch big screen. That's basically what it looks like to you. And I did test that and it's 100% true. And then in their other MR space mode, it can go up to 201 inches at like a perceived 6-meter distance. And I have to say, that looks pretty good too. Overall, I am impressed with the technology. And that was the major thing I wanted to look into. I wanted to see how AR glasses display technology was progressing. And in that regard, this headset definitely gives me high hopes for the future, because I feel like the display is definitely getting there. It looks really, really good. So to really hammer home this clarity point, I want you guys to know what I stacked it up against, which is my actual theater setup, which is right behind me. You guys can see in the screen if you're looking. It's a 4K 60 Hz projector, theater seating, and a 100-inch screen that's about 12 feet in front of it. Obviously, as you can expect, that leads to some really high quality viewing. And what I did was I used my Steam Deck with these AR glasses to try and see what the experience was. But to give it as close as a 1-to-1 scenario, I loaded up remote play on my Steam Deck to my PlayStation 5 while the game was running, also on the projector, and was just pushing the glasses up and down to kind of spot the difference. And I filmed this the best I could so you guys can actually see. You see the size comparison is no joke. Exactly what they said. It is 130 inches. It was just extending, you know, a few inches outside the barrier of my normal projector screen, which is 100 inches, or maybe it's 110. Now, clarity wise, I am using remote play in this session, so there are some artifacts there, but it's really freaking close between the artifacts from remote play and the fact that I'm using a Steam Deck and not going from the direct display of the PlayStation 5. I'm getting an experience that's almost the same as being in my theater room. And I could get that in any room of my house. But, you know, personally, I might not need it, but this gives that option to other people. You don't have to go out and buy this giant projector. You'll get an experience that's pretty darn close to it at a fraction of the price. Now, this moves us right into my use case and do I recommend the product for you? Now, my use case is a bit niche, but I am using these glasses quite often. I'm frequently can't come down to the Mat Cave and use my theater setup because I have 2 young children who I'm watching all the time, and they can't be watching the games and the content that I enjoy. They're too young for that. Also, you know, I'm staying upstairs with them as they watch the same Disney movie for the 200th time. So what I've started doing is either connecting these glasses to my cell phone or to my Steam Deck and just consuming the content I want. I can still keep an eye on them, see what they're doing, but I get a nice view of my game. They can't see what I'm watching, and everyone's happy. I'm still in the room with them. I'm still able to observe what they're doing. I'm able to consume the content I want, and big thumbs up on that one. So thank you, nreal Air. Now, I also traveled with them, and there's a benefit there, obviously. It's really nice to just, you know, have this access to this big screen. Also, holding your phone or keeping your head pointed down for extended periods of time, if you're watching content on your cell phone, is not super fun. So this just makes it easier. You could have the cell phone in your pocket and just keep viewing. It's an overall convenience that I enjoy. My favorite use case has to be the Steam Deck, because that beast is bulky as hell. And if you're in a laying position and you want to, you know, keep enjoying your game, it actually starts to hurt your wrists. But now you can have the Steam Deck just sitting in your lap, and you can lay back, enjoy your game, and keep playing. Same thing with the cell phone. I will actually put these nreal glasses on and stretch or lay down, and you could be laying completely flat and enjoy your content. You don't have to be pointed a specific way at your TV. But again, these are all like kind of niche cases or just conveniences. And if it's right for you comes down to the price. Now, nreal also makes an HDMI adapter, and you could basically plug in any HDMI device and output the signal to your glasses. But I didn't have many use cases for this. Like, I'm never that close to my PlayStation or Xbox. You know, you'd have to be seated right next to them. In some setups, it might make sense for you. In my case, it really didn't make any sense. I feel like anything you're using HDMI to, you're always outputting to either a monitor or a TV screen. And maybe in a traveling situation or a unsupported device that you really want to use with your glasses, this could come in clutch. But I did not have much personal use for this product. Okay, so let's talk dollars and is it right for you? At $380 here in the US, that might be a bit of a tough sell, especially for a device that's primarily used just for viewing content. You can get something like a Quest 2, which can do some of the same functionality and also give you a lot more like gaming, you know, connection to the metaverse, yada yada. So it might not be the ideal device for you. However, I think there is a definite time and a place for it if you're someone who travels a lot, you know, want to consume content on the road, or, you know, you want a big screen type of setup, but are definitely not shelling out $2,000 for a projector. It can definitely up your game a bit. However, the overall functionality or the additional functionality doesn't help sell it, at least in my opinion. The Nebula software can help in the productivity department. Yes, you can plug it into your laptop and use it as additional screens, or the Nebula software can make it easier to consume certain content, setting up multiple windows, browsing through text on one screen while having YouTube open, or some other example. But in my personal experience, I just didn't find many use cases there. Again, you could use it for a form of augmented reality to attach a screen to somewhere in your house. It is nifty, a bit gimmicky, not a reason I would buy the product for. Basically, if you need a high quality mobile screen, then it's right for you. But you also need a decent amount of money to spend because $380 isn't really cheap. I like them. I'm really happy I have them. I will continue to use them. And the only thing holding me back from saying you guys got to go out and get these right now is the fact that the use case is pretty limited. I think it's only a good viewing device. And at the same time, it is pretty costly for, you know, what you get. Okay, guys, I hope I answered every question you have about this product. But obviously, if you have any additional ones, drop them in the comments. I will answer you. I work very hard to answer you guys as much as possible. And if there are any legitimate questions, you know, about what it looks like or how it runs or anything, let me know. I will answer you. At least I'll try my best. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I'll see you guys on next time.